Look at all this snow out here. Okay, for me, this is unseasonably, like, the state I live in, yes, we do have snow. I'm gonna preempt that. But, yeah. Ooh, this is unseasoned. We don't get this much snow this time of the year. Like, we get snow, but it never sticks like this. This is like sleet. It was like sleet rain, and now it's chunky flurries again. It's supposed to be all day. Ooh, feel that wind. Yeah, I'm going back in the house. I can't do this. Hi, this is your girl Elsie Clemens here with a February update for my vlog. First and foremost, I'd like to welcome you back to 2020 formally. I forgot to do it for last month's video, but I'm doing this month's video. I'm actually recording at my work desk. Got pretty good lighting, pretty good acoustic. Now, part of the reason why I'm doing this is because the Diva link I usually use in my bedroom, the piece that I need to keep it sitting upright actually broke off, and I'm waiting in the mail for a replacement part. And I'm learning to budget better with my money. So instead of waiting and putting it on my credit card, I'm just waiting for the next time I get paid, not this paycheck, but the next paycheck. And what I'm going to do is take the part off and all this stuff. It's just the piece that connects the light to the power to have it sit upright. It's flopping over because the piece I need to keep it upright is missing. So I'm just going to get a new piece and re-screw it on there. There's no point in me, paying another $100 when I could just fix it myself, But on to the novelization. My Nano book is 75% done, which means hopefully by the end of February into early March, I should have the Nano project done, and then I can go on to the web novel or the original English light novel that I have been planning on making. An original English light novel is basically with it's kind of like light novels in Japan. Think of if you're an anime fan, right? Your Shield Hero. I was reincarnated as a slime. Spice and Wolf. I think Sword Art Online, I believe, and maybe Goblin Slayer. Those are all light novels, which are different than regular novels. Light novels have the name light in them. They're a little more into the adventure side. The most famous is, just like the Rise of the Shield Hero, is the isekai, when you get thrusted into a new world. I'm probably going to do a whole separate video on the difference between a light novel and a regular novel, but that is coming down the line. That's going to be on my website. I was planning on working on it, but here's the thing. I should have known that this would happen, but my brain, works. My brain's sort of a wibbly wobble thing going on, a timey-wimey thing. So my brain won't allow me to work on two projects at once. It will not allow me. So I have to focus on one project at a time. So the light novel, the original English light novel I'm working on, is going to be in the planning stages, meaning the outline under the Save the Cat because it's going to be done in arcs. And again, I'm going to do a whole separate video on what light novels are, but they're going to be different arcs to it. And that's going to be set up under Save the Cat rather than kids are playing outside. A regular novel. Now, the next project in the works is the Poseidon book series. I do need to reread that and outline it into the Save the Cat version. So that's the next project that I'm going to be primarily rereading and rewriting. Again, Save the Cat is going to play a big part in this. Now, as far as podcasting go, I was supposed to post one January 30th or the 31st, but there was a thing going on in my apartment. The electricity went out, so I couldn't do any editing like I really wanted to, but that is coming down the pipeline probably in the next couple of days, probably around the same time I post this video. This month is Black History Month, so again, I'm trying to do writing news. So I'm trying to find issues of books that pertain to the African American community because it is Black History Month. I want to keep it in the spirit and do I'm not going to do, one year I did do something about Dwayne McDuffie, who was a very prolific comic book writer, who also did the cartoons Justice League and Justice League Unlimited episodes, did Ben 10 Alien Force. He did a lot of episodes, and when he passed away, it was a great big thing for us in the African American community because, you know, Dwayne Duffy kind of paved the way. You know, he made his own comic book company called Milestone Media that got bought out by DC Comics. And sadly to say, I haven't seen anything really from Milestone Media besides in the Young Justice series, where I'm seeing Rocket, who was in Rocket and crud. What is his name? Rocket and Amistad. I believe his name is Amistad. Those are people who are from Milestone Media, and Static. But Static Shock was a TV show back in the 90s and late 90s, early 2000s. If you haven't seen that show, I suggest as an African American to watch it. But he made Static, and I have not seen Static, Rocket, or any of his characters since Milestone Media was bought out, and after the New 52, they just kind of pushed them to the back, which is really irritating in my opinion. But I'm not going to get into any of that because trying to keep this as light as possible, because this is an update video. This is not anything to do with Milestone Media. Again, those type of things I'm probably going to put on my TikTok page. I'm not going to put it up on my YouTube channel due to YouTube's crap algorithm. And the reason for me pushing a lot of funny stuff and geeky stuff to TikTok is because of YouTube's algorithm. The community is already oversaturated with enough geeks that I just want to promote the writing on here and put all the funny stuff and the geeky stuff I'm just going to put on my TikTok page, which again, the link is in the description down below if you want to see some stuff. There's also other people who do stuff on TikTok, so, you know, I'm not the only one. But YouTube's becoming, the algorithm is really weird, and it's becoming more oversaturated since the pandemic started. So I just want to keep promotions on YouTube. Now, I did see something. I was reading up, catching up on my podcast. One of my podcasts I do read is the Story Studio podcast, and they were talking about the notion of writing coaches, the future of the industry. And one of the writers they had featured on their panel was talking about the notion of writing every day, which I didn't think, you know, I know that notion of writing every day. A lot of writers talk about that for years. You see it at writer conferences. You see it at, you hear about it all the time about writing every day. But the way everybody's been, it turns out one of the writers is actually one of the people on there. She's a promotional coach. She does a lot of statistics, and she's saying that, you know, to promote write every day is actually detrimental to the person themselves, because not everybody mentally is up there with writing every single day. It doesn't work for everybody. And that threw me for a loop for a second, because I was like, write every, but I thought you were supposed to write every day. How are you supposed to get your craft done if you don't write every day? And then I thought about how I used to try to write X amount of words every day, even before NaNoWriMo, you know, and I realized a lot of certain things about my writing. I already suffer from sagging middle, which means my middle's like a lot of padding. Save the Cat, again, you know, I probably should just create the Church of Save the Cat the way I'm talking, but Save the Cat did save a lot of time, and I am working through my slogging middle, so it's not as bad as like other books I've pantsed through. But with that being said, me writing every day may not always be detrimental. Not only do I have sagging middle, but me writing every day might just push stuff out that is not productive to the book. I might just pad out the book or put in filler. It's almost like doing anime with the filler arcs, where you just recapping or talking about a situation that has really nothing to do with the main plot. It kind of throws the reader off, and it does take away more time for me. I'm supposed to be focused on writing a book, rewriting it, and then doing the editing and the grammar and all that stuff. And if I'm spending all my time padding and doing filler, I'm basically trying to rack my brain and trying to justify why the scene needs to be in there. And it came from me either slogging through my middles or padding out the story because I'm supposed to write every day. So, you know, it kind of clicked on my brain. I'm like, wait a minute, why am I writing this every day? If my brain is telling me I have nothing right now, I have to obey it. And like the woman said, I'm going to put a link to the podcast in the description below, because it was a really good episode. You don't have to, if your brain is not, losing one day of production is not going to kill you. And I don't know why we think that. It's almost she talks about it and explains it more. And it's almost like our brain and our mindset of working every single day, like working a 9-to-5 job. It's like you have to work every day. You're not productive. And of course, now you can just cry BS and go, no, I'm still being productive. It's just that I'm not adding extra stuff if I don't need to. I got nothing in the tank, so why am I adding more stuff? And that leads into the next thing that's going on in my life. Apparently, due to the pandemic, and I work for the government, not going to say which branch, and I just know I work customer service. Because of what's going on with the pandemic and with everything going on with, let's say, monetary issues, I am now working in a different department when it comes to money. And my job changed my shift so instead of working 11:30 to 8, I now work 8, starting in the next couple weeks, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Now, when I got this news, I'm not going to repeat what I was thinking in my head, but it threw off my writing schedule, because the point is to read for an hour, write for an hour or two, then go to work. And I was planning on doing a live stream in the mornings before I got to work. And then, I have all this production and be done during the day. Now, on the other hand, I'm working from day to night shift. So I'm switching. So first of all, that means for a whole week. And this is how my brain's going to work. And I'm not trying to, it's a pain, but it is what it is. I'm just, you kind of be blessed that you still have a job. But, it's really getting windy out there with that snowstorm. But I'll put it to you like this. I'm going to be spending a whole week getting used to getting up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I already kind of get up at 8, but to report to work at 8 in the morning, that means I have to get up at 7:30. No, 7. Like 6:45, 7 a.m. to get ready, to be mentally ready to work at 8 a.m. and be done by 4 p.m. Now, the blessing is working late. Is a blessing. I thought the whole thing went down. The blessing of working late, of working in the morning, is you do have evenings to yourself. But my brain is normally more productive in the morning rather than the nighttime, because at that point I'm mentally exhausted. So I have to switch up my writing routine again, just to accommodate. And this is a big adjustment. I want to know if other writers out there who work full time, do they have to deal with these type of adjustments? I wish I could just keep my night shift, because I prefer working night shift, because I'm more of a night person. I'm a night person anyway. I'm a night owl, but I have to roll with the punches at this point. It's almost like beggars can't be choosers, which is ironic considering everything that's been going on in the world. But really, beggars can't be choosers when it comes to jobs. Right now, jobs are really hard to come by, especially in the state that I live in. So I have to kind of roll with the punches, and it's really, really, it boggles the mind that I have to do this, but it is what it is. I can't just say, like someone told me, I can just quit, but I don't want to just quit. Why would I quit my job? I actually, I can't afford just to up and quit. And jobs are hard to come by. Unemployment's running out. So there's a lot that's going on that I have to, kind of roll with it. Now, as far as writing production goes, I'm going to have to probably change the way I do things. So there's no reading first thing in the morning, which is really a shame. There's no podcast to listen to. I have to wait until the evening hours, and I have to hope that I get my brain adjusted to the fact that I am now working in the morning, and I'll be done by 4:30, and hopefully it'll be time for dinner and work on podcasting and whatever, and hopefully get my mindset, in the right direction. Now, this is just a progress update. I may do something mid-month if something else is updated, but I have to change my production. I will put a link for the Story Studio podcast down below, because that was a really, really good read. And if you haven't subscribed to the Story Studio, I would suggest doing it, because they're actually these guys are book writers, but they're also book marketers. And they're not like marketers that you're spending hundreds of dollars on, because there are companies that spend $100. These guys aren't asking for anything. 9 times out of 10, a lot of their stuff is free. And I like their advice. It seems more realistic than the guy who gets up on stage and says, well, I've done this and I made millions of dollars and blah, blah, blah. And you can do it too. And this is all you need to do. it comes off as kind of fake compared to these guys. These guys are like literally working at their craft, and that's not the only person I listen to. I listen to authors, writers, writers helping writers. I listen to Brian Sanderson's podcast. There's a couple podcasts, like I'm a huge Welcome to Night Vale fan. I love Night Vale. I love the weirdness of it. I love the science fiction narrative, and it's all narrated by Cecil, and he's in the studio and all this stuff happens. You have a couple of guest stars, but I digress. It's a really good audio drama to listen to. That the Penumbra podcast, Alice Isn't Dead. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff. Anyway, not just that, but I will put a link to the episode because that was actually a really good read. But anyway, I'm just giving an update. Again, hopefully the book I'm working on it's really called the Dragon's Maid. That's the working title right now. It's called The Dragon's Maid, and it's probably going to be updated because it sounds cliche as freak. So I want to work on that, but that's what I'm working on. The Nano story is called The Dragon's Maid, and once that's 75% done, once that's done, I'm going to work on the Poseidon book again, chapter that out, and then with Save the Cat, then I'm probably going to do outline of Poseidon book 2, and I also I'm put down the side the web the original English light novel will be also be put on the list of book planning, and then we'll kind of go from there. I'll see how everything goes. Now, and in between all that, I still have to do the podcast episodes. A podcast episode should be coming out soon because it was supposed to come out the second one in January, but power went out, circumstances beyond my control. So once that is finished, I'll get that out the way, and yeah, that's about it. That's all that's happening in my neck of the woods. I will chat with you guys again soon. Bye-bye.